Hi guys, glad to see you again today. I was noticing yesterday when I was looking at the video how many times my hands were near my face. I gotta stop doing that. It's such a habit, isn't it? And we're all supposed to be washing our hands and keeping our hands away from our faces. It's kind of hard to do. Sometimes you do it unconsciously without even thinking about it, huh? Anyway, I'm gonna try today. Um, Kind of an interesting day for me. I'm gonna first I want to say that I probably won't come to you every day like this, so maybe every couple of days or so, whenever the Spirit moves me, I'll be online. But for right now, I want to enlist your help in prayer. My son called last night. He works in an ER at St. Joe's Hospital in Cheektowaga, New York, which is near Buffalo. And he suddenly found out yesterday that they're going to turn his hospital into a coronavirus hospital, where all of the people that have that need respirators and inhalators and whatever, everyone would be shipped there. Kind of a scary thing for him. He's fairly new at this. He just started in December, and also, the staff didn't feel like they had any prior knowledge of what was happening. They don't have the proper equipment. They're all concerned about what's going to happen, and I'm just asking that you would pray for my son Timothy and for St. Joe's Hospital in general. I'm praying a hedge of protection around Timothy, that he, if he gets this coronavirus, that it wouldn't be serious. Right now, we're not living up there with him. We're down here in Florida, so he's saying to us he hopes we stay here. He doesn't want to bring home viruses to our home in New York, and Dennis and I are older, so we're very at risk. So I'm just asking your prayers. I'm coveting your prayers that you would really pray that he would be protected through this whole thing, and that all the healthcare workers that are doing such a heavy duty job, we just need to pray for them. We need to pray for our pastors too, that are really struggling to maintain a sense of connection with their people and give people hope. So beyond that, I tried to do what I could do today. I just did I took a very short bike ride for some physical exercise, ate a good breakfast, tried to, cook and do normal things, trying to kind of keep a little bit of a routine where I do something spiritual, something physical, something mental, and then maybe some work around the house. So I'm just encouraging you to do the same thing. I think a routine really helps people. My routine of studying every morning with the Lord, even if I only spend 5 or 10 or 20 minutes, it has just been such a centering point for my life that I just couldn't do without it. It's like eating breakfast or having my morning cup of coffee. So today I was looking at Philippians 2, and one verse kind of stuck out to me, and I thought I would read that to you. This is the third verse. It says, "Don't be selfish or try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves." This is a time when we have to make sacrifices for other people. Even if we're not sick, we need to stay home. Not only to protect ourselves, but to protect other people. And there's an awful lot of talk right now about people that are not having that feeling of protecting others. Down here in Florida, they're interviewing people on the beaches, especially spring breakers, and they're young. They don't understand that much, maybe. But they don't have that spirit of community. They're like, hey, this is my spring break. I'm going to be on the beach whether it's good or not. If I get corona, I get corona, big deal. Well, that's not really looking out for the interests of others. That's not being humble in a Christian sense. And I want to be clear that humble doesn't mean I'm laying down, letting people walk all over me. Doesn't mean that at all. What it really means is I recognize that in God's eyes we're all the same. And that means when I can take care of myself, I also can take care of you. And I need to care about what happens to you, especially in the community of believers. We need to care about each other. We need to check in. A friend of mine that I have not heard from in many months, a real young girl who's at a really nice church in Buffalo, she contacted me by email and said, "Are you safe? Do you need anything?" That just really, it just touched my heart, It really touched my heart because she's not a particularly close friend of mine, but she's a younger girl and she cares about people who are older. And I think that's such a great thing. I think it shows so much about what kind of a Christian she is. So this verse, don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Like, hey, it's never going to hit me. I'm going to go out to the store whether you like it or not. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. When you can put others ahead of you, that is what Christ did. Because right after this verse, we go on with that whole verse about Christ being obedient to the cross and humbling himself and dying for us. And that what the result of that is that God exalted him. So we can just rest in God and let him do the exalting. When we are humble, when we are looking out for our own interests, the interests of our family, but also the interests of our community at large. Great, great stuff. So I encourage you to stay close to God and just know that I love you and I miss you and hope to see you whenever this is all over. So God bless. Bye-bye.